Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and start the recording.
Welcome to our inspired agents and investors from across the country. Today is Thursday, February 2nd, 2023. And this is All the Leads Mastermind podcast number 414. I want to start today with a little story, and I'm going to start from the beginning because for me, it just reminded me of a lesson that you never know where your next big deal or opportunity is going to come from. I was in my office. They usually close the door here because I've been told that I can be a little bit loud, which I don't believe, but the door was open. I heard my wife talking to someone who had called looking for a short sale negotiator. And I heard her say, yeah, we're still doing them. There aren't a lot of them out there. And then I heard her say, no, we don't really have any scripts, for short sales. And I just motioned to her, get his number and I'll call the guy back. So I did. I was basically just trying to help the guy out, and it's turned into something that is going to be a tremendous opportunity for everybody on this call. Like I said, you never know where it's going to come from. The gentleman and his partner own 3 law firms, 2 mortgage companies, and they have 2 call centers, one domestic and one overseas. Back in 2008, 2009, they were doing about 300 foreclosure defense cases a month. And they said to me, we're getting ready to ramp up our marketing. They are basically contacting by mail and or mostly with the call center, everybody in the country who's in foreclosure. And I said to him, I think I might know a place where we could help you monetize those leads. That's not why he was calling, but he said, okay, I'll start sending you leads. And I thought, okay, let's wait and see what happens. I've been getting 10 to 12 really good, highly motivated seller leads a day from these guys for the last week. And matter of fact, one of our long-term agents, been with us for 6 years for multiple counties, has an appointment on Saturday to take an $800,000 listing. And he just got a second one that he doesn't have the appointment yet, but he talked to the guy and said, yeah, you're my guy, come right out. So very exciting, and my intent is to screen these people and then pass them on to you guys. They are all in foreclosure. Some of them have sale dates, and that brings me to, so we have one opportunity there. Obviously, I don't know where the next one's going to come from, so don't call me and say, yeah, Jim, I'm on board. I'm assuming everybody on the call would probably be okay taking a motivated seller lead, right? Anybody want to opt out? I didn't think so, but there's a couple other opportunities that go with it. Number one, if I call you, call me right back, please. Secondly, he made me aware of a separate service that they utilize to stop foreclosures. And they basically prepare a petition and then walk the seller step by step through how to take that petition and get the sale stopped. And without digging into that too much, they're only charging a couple $300 one-time fee for that. So if anybody, and so far about a third of them that they've sent me are going to require that service. The others have 2, 3, 4 months runway. So second thing, if you have anybody that needs a sale stop, let me know and I'll refer that to you. And then the third opportunity is something that never even occurred to me. They shared with me in the last few years, a significant number of people getting foreclosed have equity. That they just wait too long and to take action, and the house goes to foreclosure sale. I see a lot of people shaking their heads. A vast majority of those people don't realize that they may be entitled to an overage. If it sells after everybody gets paid, the seller has money coming back. So it's kind of like unclaimed funds. These guys also provide that same service. So if you know someone in the past 6 months, year, even 2 years that was foreclosed that didn't take any action, these guys will handle everything start to finish. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you. It's an exciting opportunity. And to be honest with you, what I'm doing out of fairness, I don't want to play favorites, but I go to the county and I'm kind of choosing the subscriber there that's been with us the longest. Several of them did not. One of them that I assigned, we did not currently have a subscriber there, but we had one in an adjacent county who was willing to drive a half hour to take a come get me listing. So anyway, and honestly, I don't want to clog our support system or anything, but anybody who has anybody that fits needs help in any of those categories, just email me, jim@alltheleads.com, and I'm gonna personally handle this until it gets so busy that I can't. Anyway, I thought that was kind of exciting and a good example. You never know where your next big deal is going to come from. Bruce?
Wonderful. All right. Thanks, Jim. And thank everyone for being here. Please stick around. Somewhere here in the next 20 to 30 minutes. We're going to make an announcement, and a really exciting announcement for those of you that are doing direct mail. If you are not doing direct mail, you're also going to want to hear this, because we're going to make it easier on those of you that are trying to include mail in your marketing and prospecting campaign. So stick around, wait for a couple of other people to jump on here. If you are unfamiliar with who we are, maybe you've never jumped on one of our Zoom calls before, or never watched one of our live events like this, we're All the Leads. We provide life transition leads, prospecting and marketing systems. So not only the leads that you're going to get, we base it on the counties. So probate, pre-probate, and divorce leads, with more coming soon. So we'll base that on the county. You get your leads. Obviously, you want to market to them. You want to stand out, look really good online. You want to have your strategy in place so that you know what team members to talk to, how to build relationships with attorneys. We teach you guys all that. So we're kind of a full system for those of you that are looking to work the life transition leads. Looking on this Zoom screen that I'm watching from, I can see a lot of familiar faces. So most of you guys know what we do, and you've been with us for a while, seeing some success. This call is for you guys. If you're watching on a live stream, maybe YouTube or Facebook, chat your questions in on the live stream itself. That'll come over to us so that we can answer those questions, share your success stories, your wins. If you're here live on Zoom, we want you guys raising your hand, please, to share any successes that you've had, ask any questions, help with any deal structures that you're trying to put together. This call is for you guys. You can hear us ramble on and talk to each other for the next 60 minutes, or you can throw your hands up and ask questions, because that's kind of what makes this call so valuable. So if you're looking to get into this particular space, or you're maybe struggling to put a deal together, something like that, chat your question in. If you're on live stream, click the reactions button and raise your hand if you're here on Zoom, and we will call on you and you can ask your question. Really good to see some folks that I haven't seen for a while before. I'm actually down in Florida this week. I live in North Carolina, and I drove down to Florida. I thought I was making a wise choice by renting a car and driving down, and then I took a wrong turn and turned a 9-hour drive into about a 14-hour drive. So I am down here recording some video for a new learning management program that we have for our subscribers that should be coming out soon to kind of guide you guys through the first 90 days of your journey with all the leads. I know most of you guys have been with us for that long anyway. You may not need that help, but it's something that's pretty exciting that we're shooting right now. With that said, let me turn it over. I think Chuck had some things to share, and Tim and Jim might have some things to share. In the meantime, throw your hands up, ask your questions. We want to interact with you guys today. Chuck?
Okay. Yeah. So I think one of the things from my week of coaching and meeting with different subscribers, I think there's a lot of overthinking that goes into this, especially when you're new, or if you haven't necessarily implemented campaigns, you haven't had a number of conversations with personal representatives in probate. So I'm primarily going to focus on probate and pre-probate. So let's kind of elevate ourselves up to about 5,000 feet. We just need to take a look down on the situation to to kind of say, okay, what is it that we're really doing here? What is our value proposition? How do we help people, whether they're a personal representative or if we're speaking to a legal professional or somebody that's associated with the estate settlement industry? The most basic value proposition that I've come up with for me in my business is that I help people settle estates easier than doing it alone. And by doing that, I'm able to help them not only with the real estate, but I'm also able to help them dispose of or disposition, take care of the stuff, right? So I help people settle estates easier than doing it alone. And we focus on the physical aspects of the estate, which means we help people deal with the stuff that's left behind. That stuff includes the house, personal belongings, etc. So take it from that point and look at your business, because I know that especially if we're coming as real estate professionals or real estate agents, that we're very focused on the market and listing appointments and those types of things. What these folks need from us is they need help figuring out a strategy to deal with so they can take care of what they need done. They're going to have concerns, so we need to be able to help address those concerns. But most importantly, we want to understand what are their goals when settling the estate. So helping them come up with a strategy to deal with the physical aspects of the estate means that we pick up where a typical attorney stops. So if we look at it from that basic standpoint, you're able to kind of structure your mindset to say, okay, well, if I'm helping people settle estates easier than them doing it alone, what do I need? And that's where we go into the probate foundations. We tell you about all the team members that you may want to refer to your prospects to be able to help them take care of their stuff. And not only, so I call that team my solutions team, because really they've got problems. We're bringing solutions, and we don't always know exactly who that team member is going to be at the time, but still walk out in faith, knowing that you are able to pull the team together for their specific situation. So that solutions team, not only am I the solutions team leader, but I'm also the real estate specialist. So whether they're looking for a fast, fair cash offer, whether they're looking to sell it via a in-person public real estate auction on site, or if they're looking to maximize their opportunity on the retail market, I will be the team member that will help provide those options. The other key is when they have goals, it's definitely better for them to have a menu to choose from, a menu of options. So in our role of being an estate settlement strategist, we then go meet with somebody on a strategy session where we meet in person to understand their needs, address their concerns, and understand their goals. So we can go back to our lab and we can develop what are those options that will help them achieve their goals. I use the analogy of we're just like Google Maps. They input the destination, where it is that they want to go, and we will give them the multiple ways to get there, whether it's the route without tolls, the fastest route, the most fuel efficient, or the most scenic route. We lay out those options for them with the pros and cons, and we let them choose. You've probably heard me say this before, that our role is to help people do what they want to do, not to convince them to do what we want them to do. So when you hear conversations about, concierge level service and us being able to offer all of these services, we're really just referring to those professionals and in essence, working in a general contracting role to connect them to the right subcontractors to achieve their goals in settling the estate focused on the physical aspects. So if you take it at that 5,000 foot level, You fill in the details based on your network, your relationships in your local market. You're going to have to adapt things specific to you, because here where I am, maybe in a more rural county compared to a major metro, the South Bay in Los Angeles or et cetera, it's going to be different. You're going to have different relationships than I do. But definitely leaning on your network is a way to do it, but you don't need to wait to get started, because when you start developing a strategy for a specific prospect, that's when you know exactly who you're going to need to go pull together on a team for that specific project. So do not wait. You will learn by doing, and you want to start having those conversations so you can start figuring out exactly what you don't have in place already today, so you can go get that in place and build your business one step at a time.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks, Chuck. Tim, anything to add?
Yeah, no, but very well said. I wanted to request, Bruce, that you call on a friend of mine that's got his hands up. Call on Aaron first, because I think it's a great segue to what Chuck just said.
Absolutely.
And Aaron won't brag, but Aaron is a veteran. He's got a network of 70,000 people in his group, and he's one of the most prolific prospectors I ever met. And I think he's overthinking it. That's just my unsolicited opinion. So I think it'd be a good segue to what Chuck just said when you get ready to call on people.
Awesome. Okay, good. I'm going to go ahead and have Aaron unmute himself. Sue, Joyce, Brooke, we will call on you guys here in just a minute. Also, if you guys are watching on live streaming and you want to chat questions in, please go ahead and do so. But Aaron, really good to have you. I see you're still on mute. Let me ask you to unmute, and you can go ahead.
Hi, what's going on, everybody? Where in Florida are you, Bruce?
I'm down in Cocoa right now,
Okay.
at the ATL headquarters.
Oh, fancy.
And then I live in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I'm in Southwest Florida now. I'm outside of Sarasota.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, I'm liking it here. I got the heck away from New York as quick as not as quick as I could, as long as I could, I guess. And I'm excited to get started. With this. This is a great avenue. I'm a for sale by owner expired guy. That's always been my my area of expertise. And this one here, I did a few probate deals in New York, and I think I know there's a huge opportunity to build, and I'm very scripted. That so like what I would like to know is like what's that initial, because this to me seems like you get the initial, you get your intro out of the way, you get your who you are, what you are, who you are, and then you do a little bit of a hook, and the rest of it kind of takes hold. You know what I mean? It's kind of what I got. But what do you like? I'm brand new, so what should I say? I'm gonna take some notes.
Well, first off, everybody is Aaron and I don't know each other. I know Aaron though. Like I feel like the elementary school student that's teaching the college professor right now.
No.
All right. And if you guys don't know Aaron, you should jump over on his Facebook page. Aaron, give that plug really quickly, and then I'll go over some.
You're killing. Hey man, I'm rebuilding my business right now, just like all everybody's building and rebuilding and all that stuff. So I'm in a brand new market, so I ain't nothing special at all. If you ever want to check any lead gen scripts, objection handling, that's my thing. Just type in lead gen scripts and objections into your search bar, and it'll bring you to the Facebook group, because you should know a couple people that are in it. So
yeah, awesome, cool.
Thank you for the warm welcome, though. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. And we need to know each other for sure. Dude. I want to talk sometime.
Sure. So, and by the way, Bruce, Aaron's also a rock star down in what is it? What's
Rockstar Connect?
Yeah. I know Stephen David really well. I call him the man of three first names. Stephen David Elliott, good dude, great person, by the way. Yeah. And we got our second event next month. So
yeah, amazing. I'm looking forward to our orientation call, Aaron. Because I've been a rock star for going on 6 years now.
Oh wow, yeah. Sorry, my whole house got 60% of my house is sick, and on Monday I was doing double daddy duty, so I apologize. I had to reschedule on you.
Quite okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Cool. All right. So probate. probate conversation. And there's a full 2-day class. I'm hoping to make it into a 3-day class soon, but there's a full 2-day class on exactly how to guide people through all the details of that conversation that we teach once a month, coming up in about 2 weeks. But the basics of it is the first thing that I'm going to look at, Aaron, is building a bit of an outline for how that call is typically going to go. And
Perfect.
so step one of the outline is normally going to be an opening, 15, 20 seconds, 10 seconds, something like that. Typically what I'm going to do is just kind of open up with a, hey, Aaron, this is Bruce Hill, company name, potentially. I typically don't like to push a real estate company name
Sure.
right there. I'd like it to be more of a probate or an estate solutions company name if I have one. And then I took this line off of Ricky Caruth. So, hey, listen, I don't want to take a bunch of your time. I have a service for families going through the probate process, and I'm not sure if it's for you. Do you think I could take a quick second to kind of share a couple of the things that we offer? All right, so that I'm referring to as a gate. I need them to give me permission to move forward. Once they've given me permission, I'm going to go into phase 2, which is my USP. So your USP, I want you to think about it as an umbrella, and your umbrella is a turnkey or a concierge service. Okay, so that's your umbrella. Underneath of that umbrella, you're going to hit real estate needs, personal property needs, and maintenance needs. All right, so the umbrella is your concierge level service or a turnkey service for some people. And then you're going to hit, we help with things like real estate. If you need to sell or keep the property, we help with personal property issues, estate sales, property clean out, junk removal, things like that. And then we also have a service for people that just need some standard maintenance or repairs to their property. All right, so what you want to do is basically have like 2 versions of that. So if you say, hey, could I take a quick second to tell you what I was calling for? And they say, yeah, make it fast. Or they say, yeah, what's it about? And they're really annoyed. Fall to a really short, like 10-second version of your USP. But if they seem open, you might go to a 30 or 40-second version. But just know that you're going to hit the umbrella and then you're going to hit your 3 points underneath of that. At that point, Aaron, you mentioned hooks a little bit ago. I go straight into a conversation hook. I like to give binary choice, where I might say, hey, do you have everything handled? Because I know that that's what they want to give me back. So I'm giving them the option to feed it back to me in a conversational way. So do you have everything handled, or is there anything that you could use some help with? Personally, I expect people to take the we have it handled approach. And then I just use a Chris Voss label. Hey, that's perfect. It sounds like you aren't looking for a whole lot of help with the probate process today. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. All right. I disarm them. I'll offer to keep in touch. And then I pivot into real estate. So real quick, Aaron, before I let you go, could I ask, is there any property involved that maybe you guys were thinking about selling, or is any real estate that's being inherited going to be kept in the family? Right. Now, plenty more that goes into it, but once you pivot into that real estate, the conversation really goes anywhere from that point. But I would expect that most people are going to push back on you in the very beginning. Most people will, you'll offer the additional services, and almost everyone's going to say, nope, we're all good. We don't need anything. We got it handled. And that's where I'm just going to, I'm going to label them, or I call it a reframe. So it sounds like, and I try to spin that into something that's a little tiny bit more favorable. So instead of, it sounds like you don't need anything, I'll use, it sounds like you aren't looking for anything today. And then that way I've got something that I can kind of build off of.
Okay.
All right, so step 1 is opening. Step 2 is USP. Step 3 is labeling their resistance. Step 4 is disarm them. And step 5 is pivot into real estate.
Right. Is this written down anywhere? I tried taking notes because that was good stuff. Is this written down anywhere?
Yeah, it's actually in indexes, and Aaron, we'll have a chat. For
Okay,
those
cool.
of you that do want an index, definitely join the Prospecting Mastery class, where we're going to index this out and basically role play through every single one of these steps. But I've got an index where they say this, here's your, just click on it, and here's where you go from there.
Okay.
And this episode is going to be available on YouTube for you to be able to revisit, rewatch, pause. Just go to the All the Leads YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, like I said, I can write a script, and I'd rather not. I'd rather just copy what you guys do, because you guys seem very smart in this stuff. So I appreciate it.
And we'll talk more about it on Monday.
For sure, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. I'll let someone else go. Thank you for the time.
Thanks, Aaron. Appreciate it. All right, Sue Steinman. Hey, I want to say it's been a while. I think it's been a while. What's up? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Well, I was just on last week.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Last week I said the same thing. I lost a week though.
I just wanted to give you the update on my girl that was going through probate. She adamantly did not want to file for bankruptcy. We actually went down to Wells Fargo, downtown Tucson, and met with one of the mortgage guys who, because he was an employee, the different departments would talk to her, but she had waited till the 11th hour. Unbeknownst to me, she did get some legal counsel, and she ended up filing for bankruptcy, and she did not lose her home. She doesn't have to follow through with it. That'll have some issues with her credit, but that was the last resort because she had waited till a few minutes before midnight. I just wanted to say thanks. I got an outpouring of a number of agents that contacted me afterwards, and this is a great group. So that's about it.
Amazing. Awesome. Was that a Jim, was that a deal that was coming from you? Or was
No, actually, it was kind of ironic because we had the guys I'm telling you about on the call, and this just came out of the blue. Susan shared with us someone that was in this situation, and if it had been foreclosed, to Susan's credit, she was ready, willing, and able to jump in and help them apply for the overage. So at least the lady wouldn't have lost everything. You know, she's obviously going to retain a whole lot more the way she's going with the bankruptcy, and hopefully retain her house. I will tell you, Sue, that just statistically, a very significant percentage of the people that file bankruptcy end up back in the same situation again. So put her in your sphere of influence and keep in touch with her.
Well, and I did forget to mention that, her parents divorced. Her father took out a home equity loan, and the house was in her mother's name. And then as soon as the mother died, he quit paying. And I think with COVID, that's why it wasn't repossessed sooner. And the poor woman herself had a lung transplant. So she's had a lot of issues that she went through. And she told me she does want to sell the house, has too many memories. So I still think I'm going to get a deal out of it, but it'll be a year from now.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's great.
Good. Thanks for the update, Sue. Thank you. All right. Got some other hands. I want to answer a quick question that came in on chat. Then we're going to go to those of you with your hands up. But after I answer this question on chat, I'm going to give it to Alyssa to share some of the changes that are coming down the pipe in our direct mail marketing offering. Now, Arrington asked if I could sum up what value can you offer to an attorney to get them to start sending you leads. So how can you wow an attorney? And the first things first is you got to recognize that most attorneys in the probate and the estate space that are well established, they're going to take some nurturing. They're going to take some time. You're going to meet with them. They're not going to immediately say, oh, thank God another realtor knocked on my door. Thank God another investor knocked on my door. Let me send them all my deals. It's going to take some time of you building a relationship and some credibility and rapport with that person. Now, if they are new or it's kind of a solo shop where they're the chief cook and bottle washer in their business, then those people will likely start sending you business a little bit faster. It's just going to be less business to send because they're usually doing multiple different specialties in their practice. They're kind of taking any kind of work that they can get. And so with those people, and really any of them, whether they're experienced with big firms or new attorneys or solo shops, single shops, I'm usually going to tell them when I'm face to face, I'm usually going to tell them I want to find out about their business, talk about where most of their business comes from, who I could refer to them, what relationships they want, and I'm going to try to connect them with the people that they want to be working with and doing business with. Once I do that, maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes into our talk, I'm usually going to say, hey, do you mind if I take a quick minute and kind of tell you a little bit about what I do? So I don't push that until I've found out what I can provide to them first. And this would be face to face. And at this point, I'm usually going to say, look, here's what I do. Now, my job, my goal is not for this to be a one-way street. I don't only want you to refer business to me. I want to make sure that I'm providing value to you. I'm giving you referrals and I'm making your job easier. How's that sound? Okay, good. Now, I've implied that they're going to send business to me. But when I talk about the two-way street, where I'm not in it for a one-way street, where I'm just begging for their referrals, so that I'm giving value, and I've implied that's just going to come with their referrals, every time I get a really good response from that attorney. So I want you guys kind of taking that two-way street approach, but find out first what connections they could use in their business to grow. Don't go in there talking about what you need in your business. Go in there talking about what they need in their business, and then shift it somewhere deep in the conversation into, do you mind if I take a quick second to kind of share with you what I do and what service I provide to maybe some of your clients? And then use the two-way street approach. Okay, so that works brilliantly. All right, so Alyssa, can I turn it over to you for a quick minute? Are you ready to make an announcement? And then Joyce, will come to you next.
Hey, Alyssa kind of asked me to kick this off, and I will. Just a couple of quick points to note and kind of set the stage for what's going on here. We've always kind of taken the approach to be contrarians in a lot of ways. We sort of try to do things differently, and it's always stood us in good stead, and we try to help you do things differently as well. And it's one of the things that we teach, one of the things that we practice. We try to do interruptive things and things that will stand out. So what we're going to talk to you about now is the fact that you're probably aware, if you're involved in direct mail at all, there are a lot of things that are putting pressure on everything having to do with marketing. Telephone calls are time consuming. They're taking your time, and those of you that have the time to do it and are relentless at it, like Aaron, it's a great way to do it. No question, works well. It is a kind of a one-to-one thing, and you get it done, and working hard to do that. Obviously, the laws that are out there right now that are banging on that pretty hard, try to keep your inbox in your phone from filling up with spam or doing that. And there are a lot of pressures on that side of the market. Everything that would be easy to do right now and not as costly is trying to be regulated pretty hard, not totally under control, but they're put pressure on it. The other thing is that the Postal Service continues to have problems, and as fuel prices go up and the cost of living goes up and everything else goes up, they have been relentlessly raising their prices over the last several years. And I will point out that I'm young enough to remember when you could mail a letter with a 5-cent stamp on it. And that's way back when, but it did happen that way. But Postal Service just raised the price of first-class stamps 64 cents. As I said, we're swimming in a different direction. So what we're going to announce today is that we're going to lower the price of our mailings. And we're going to talk to you about how that works. We've got a really creative approach to doing that. And frankly, I'm surprised that we didn't think about doing this sooner. And I'm sure that our team will probably tell you that I'm the reason why we didn't do it sooner. But I'd like to talk to you now and let Alyssa explain to you what it is that we're going to go do. So you got a real quick presentation on this, and this will make it significantly more affordable for you to do this. And it is a surefire way to get this done, to make sure that you at least have the opportunity to be in the right place at the right time when your potential customer makes the decision that it's time to make a move on that property. So with that, Alyssa, pop your screen up and show them what you got.
All righty. So to begin with, oh, give me 1 second here. Okay. To begin with, we are decreasing the base cost of our regular mailings. So in the past with our first class mailings, we have been charging $1.75 a letter for our base letters. So what we're doing is we are switching the type of postage that we use from first class to standard. Absolutely no difference is going to be made to the look and feel of your envelope, the same postmark, still using a live stamp. It is not metered mail, so it is not going to look any more like a marketing piece or anything like that. You're still going to have that same mailing quality. The only difference you may notice is it'll take an extra couple of days sometimes, depending on how far away from our mail house your letter is going. Typically with first class mail, we see a 2 to 4 day turnaround depending. With standard mail, you're going to see a 2 to about 7 days depending. So especially with those follow-up mailings, it really doesn't make much of a difference when you have those multiple touch campaigns. You can always make adjustments to the frequency that you want to send if you really want to make sure your mailing is going to hit closer to a specific date. But specifically for those follow-up mailings, it's really not going to have much of an effect on the flow of your campaign, but it is going to have a big effect on the cost of your campaign. So reducing our base price from $1.75 to $1.65. 1 second here. Oops. Reshare my screen. The biggest discount that we're the most proud of is those 3-touch autopilot campaigns. We've been offering a 10% discount on those across the board. If you're sending out 3 touches or more and your mail is on autopilot, you're automatically eligible for that 10% off. But we're going to increase that 10% off to 15% off. That puts the base price for a regular letter at $1.40. That is 35 cents lower than our previous, now we'll say, base rate of $1.75. So that is a huge savings. Allows you to get more touches in your campaign, reach more people for longer. We definitely want to encourage you guys to take advantage of the autopilot feature.
Lisa,
Go ahead.
let me just make a quick point here. One of the things that sometimes people have a concern about is that if I put my letters on autopilot, then I'm not going to have the ability to adjust them, and you're just going to send them out to everybody. And that's not the way that it works. You do have time. You have the ability to control the timeline of when the letters go out. You do have the ability to scrub that list and exclude any and all of them from subsequent mailings. And we encourage you to do that. We're not doing this to try and gouge you for as much money as we can. This is for you. So what we're encouraging you to do is put it on autopilot. That'll save you the money that we're trying to save you here. That way we can do some anticipation in terms of staffing and print time and all of that, and work with the post office as well to make sure that we've got our act together, and we do everything to save ourselves money and getting it out the door. But you still have the ability to scrub it down when it's on autopilot. And your MIS, your marketing implementation specialist, will be happy to explain that to you in better detail than I'm doing it. But put your mail on autopilot and at least get the 3-touch out. And Bruce will teach you in the marketing programs that doing more than that is better, especially if you scrub it down. Because as you talk to people, if you find there's no interest or you want to pull them out, you just exclude them from future mailing and you eliminate the cost. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, definitely. And for those of you who aren't currently on a 3-touch and you're interested, like Tim said, you can reach out to your marketing implementation specialist. We also have pre-made packages that are available to you as well. So we make it super easy to get a 3-touch campaign set up. So definitely let us know if you need some assistance with that. We'd be happy to help. The third way is we are reducing our pricing for postcard mailings. This is another way to add more touches for less money. You can see there our standard 4x6 postcards have been $1.35 a piece. Our jumbos have been $1.45. We're reducing each of those 10 cents. Again, on top of that discount, if these are used as part of a 3-touch autopilot campaign, you're getting another 15% off on top of the already lower prices. So more ways to compound a discount, more ways to, again, add more touches to your campaigns for less. And in that regard, with the postcards, we are also reducing our design fees for marketing materials. We really want to encourage you guys to take advantage of that service that we have. Our designers have put together some awesome templates. We have a full catalog of materials that you guys can utilize to add to your direct mail campaigns, to have boxed and sent out to you to be able to take with you and leave behind when you're meeting with prospects, when you're meeting with potential service providers in your area, when you're building out your team and things like that. Business cards, flyers, postcards, trifold brochures. We've got some excellent materials. We're adding new ones all the time. We're about to launch some additional new materials coming up soon as well. But again, another way to just make more room in your budget for putting your marketing dollars to the best use, getting the most bang for your buck, making sure that you're looking professional. It adds to your credibility immensely to have these marketing materials. So definitely encourage you guys to take a look at that. You can visit our catalog. It's alltheleads.com/catalog. If you want to take a look at our materials there. Again, reach out to your MIS if you'd like to go ahead and get something designed or a couple of things designed. We'll be happy to help you out with that. Super quick turnaround times, completely done for you template, so you really can't go wrong there. And the fifth and final way is we have been charging a slight upcharge for our color envelopes, and that pretty much just has been coming down to our hard cost on those. But we really see a value in switching up the envelopes you're using for your campaigns, you know, testing some different ones, mixing it up. If you have that 3-touch campaign, you know, maybe the first one you send is going to be a green, maybe the second one will be a business envelope, maybe the third one you'll try blue, so on and so forth, so that you can kind of make those mail campaigns a little bit more dynamic and increase the open rates and the effectiveness of your mail.
Hey, Lisa,
yeah.
Go ahead, finish that up, but leave this screen up just 1 second.
Sure. So that's pretty much a pretty basic one, but we're just cutting out that extra upcharge. So if you're currently using a white envelope because you've been trying to keep the cost of your mail low and you want to switch it up, again, feel free to reach out to your MIS or a customer support team, and we'd be happy to help you guys switch that up a little bit.
Okay. I just wanted to point something out to you, and that is, you know, we sometimes don't do the best job in the world of blowing our own horn about the things we do. The software that we use to create the letters that we put out is custom to us. We've actually created it. We're real proud of how well it works. And you'll notice if you look at the envelopes that are showing on the screen, they don't look like they're very straight. The stamps are on crooked a little bit. The actual text kind of is warped a little bit and all that. That's deliberate. We do it that way, again, to give it a more hand stamped approach. And we're constantly working on ways to make these look and feel much more realistic as time goes on. You also can be aware that in addition to just doing a postcard or a letter, there are other types of mailings you can do. And instead of just a 6x9, you can also put your letter out in a number 10 envelope. You can also put words on the outside of the envelope in addition to just your name or just the addressee. If you wanted to do it and have it look like a straight up business letter, it could say regarding the estate of XYZ. And if I'm a PR, I'm definitely going to open that letter. I got to take a look at it. So there are a lot of things that we can do to help you make sure that your open rates go through the roof. And we're real good at getting this done and making sure that people see your message.
Absolutely. And the other autopilot discount, that 15% off applies to your entire mailing. So especially for those of you who have been considering sending out those pen mailings, so a little bit higher dollar mail piece, but they're extremely high value. Those ones are absolutely going to get opened. Even those are eligible for that 15% off. So if you're sending pen mailings as part of a 3-touch campaign, you're going to see additional savings on top of that. So our goal here is definitely to encourage more of you guys to take advantage of the long game on some of those mail campaigns and really make sure that you're, we always say the fortune is in the follow-up, and that's absolutely true. So take advantage of these savings, add a touch or two to your campaigns. We want to see everyone be super successful, and that's all for me.
All right, good job. Thank you very much. We've got several hands in the air. We need to get to them.
Yep.
Oh,
Thanks,
one
Alyssa.
last thing I just want to mention. I am sending an email out to everybody in our audience as well. So this information will be available to you in your inbox. If you're not on our email list already, meaning you didn't get the email saying that we were live today, contact our customer support team and we'll make sure to get you guys on the email list as well. But all this information is going to be in your inbox too, so you can take a look at it again.
Perfect.
Awesome. Let's go to Joyce. We're going to fly, and I want to probably end with Vince. Vince has had some great success stories. So Vince, we're coming to you in a minute. Those of you with questions, Joyce first, will answer as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Hi there.
Good to see you.
Thank you. I have been working with one of my probate clients whose mother passed away, and he has an attorney. The tax bill came up, and the attorney asked the son to pay the taxes. What the attorney didn't realize is that the son was eligible for Proposition 19 in California, which means he would keep the same tax structure as his mother had. And so what happened was the son overpaid the taxes. So I checked with the assessor of Orange County, and they sent a refund. But unfortunately, they sent the refund check to the attorney's office. The taxes were paid with a personal check from the son. And now the attorney is telling the son that they'll have to wait till probate is totally finished before he'll get the refund.
Mm-hmm.
And that just doesn't seem fair to me, since he wrote a personal check himself and sent it to the assessor.
Okay, so Joyce, it doesn't seem fair to you, and it doesn't seem fair to me, but is he worried about it, or are you worried about it and he's okay waiting a little bit? Because he was okay paying the larger amount.
The son is definitely in need of the money. He wasn't okay paying it. He actually needs to get the refund to be able to live.
How much money is it, Joyce?
It's $6,000.
That's the refund.
Uh-huh.
So Bruce, why don't you talk about probate cash? That's probably a good way to get the money
Yeah,
back.
so you could put him through at first I would talk to another attorney. I know he already has an attorney. Reach out to an attorney, run it by them, see if they have any solutions that his